It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like,
in relationship, me and Mignon.
What's up, sports freak?
Listen, I know sports better than most females.
Love. You know, what do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love?
Maury Lang Show with the Renegade Relationship. Let me shatter that myth real quick before you go on. Just because a woman likes sex all the time does not make her a freak.
Hello and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Routes and Relationships, where, as always, I am the lovely Mia Mignon.
And I am Maury Langshaw.
And together we are the sports podcast giving practical relationship advice known as Routes and Relationships. And you can always find us on Facebook.com, Routes and Relationships page, Instagram at Routes and Relationships, Twitter, Routes_ships. And if you would like to support the show, you can support us at patreon.com/Routes and Relationships. And today, we are talking about NBA free agency on the sports side of things. And on the relationship side, Maury Langshaw is going to tell us that a woman can actually have a relationship that grows and prosper while having a male roommate.
A male roommate, is that what you just said?
Oh, male roommate?
A male roommate.
Whether that male roommate is just a friend or her ex-husband or her ex-boyfriend or her baby daddy. Yes.
Okay. So you said the first half of the show is NBA free agency?
NBA free agency. Yes.
Alright, the first half of the show is brought to you by GreatTravelLife.com. GreatTravelLife.com is your travel site for providing a one-stop shop for all your travel needs that you need to hunt for your next luxury vacation for non-luxury prices. If you feel comfortable finding your own low-cost flights, booking your own discounted hotel suites, booking your own cruises anywhere in the world, rental car discounts, and even discounted shopping through Amazon, then head over to GreatTravelLife.com and start hunting for your next luxury vacation for non-luxury prices today. GreatTravelLife.com.
Thank you, GreatTravelLife.com.
So NBA free agency.
NBA free agency.
Who you want to start with? How about Richard Jefferson from the Nuggets?
No, he needs to retire.
How about Dante Cunningham from the Brooklyn Nets?
He can go to China.
How about, let's see, how about Wade Baldwin?
He's another one that can retire or he can go over and play in Italy. But let's start
Okay.
with Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi.
Get it?
Kawhi.
Why?
Yes, Kawhi Leonard.
I stole that from Mark Jackson. He said that one time on the broadcast. I was laughing hysterically.
Boom, boom. Okay.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
He will not be back with the Spurs, huh?
Maybe he might. He
Is
has
he
to repair.
unrestricted or restricted?
He has to repair his relationship with the Spurs from top to bottom, and I don't know if he's restricted or unrestricted.
I'm telling you. Well, the Spurs only have he's under contract actually. The only unrestricted player the Spurs have is your boy, Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, I don't like anybody that plays for the Spurs, so nobody on there is my boy, so I have to
Okay, well, I got
what you're talking about.
All right, Tony Parker.
Tony Parker?
He's been in the league for what, 26 years
Yeah,
now?
I don't know, but he's a whore.
Oh, what?
According to his
What is it?
ex-girlfriend, he's a whore. That's what she said.
His ex-girlfriend who? Eva Longoria?
Yeah, she said he's a whore. Yeah.
He's French. He likes to tongue kiss everybody. That's what it is.
Then he tongue kissed everybody.
Hey.
That's why she left. But Kawhi Leonard.
So
Leonard.
where's he going there? What's his status?
Well, he wants 5 years, $219 million.
No, he's not worth that. Sorry.
He wants that, and he wants to be able to get that. And if he does not get that, then there's a possibility that he will depart San Antonio and go elsewhere.
But where's he going to go to get 5 years, $219 million?
Well,
Memphis? Well, he won't even get that because what's his name? Lefty Conley is making 150.
Well, I don't know if he'll get $219 million, but I know the Celtics put in an offer to trade for him, and the Spurs turned it down. So if the Celtics want him that bad, then the Celtics would possibly pay him $219 million or close to it.
Oh, wow.
So, you can have what? Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, what's his name?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, but that's not who I'm talking about. Gordon Hayward. Yeah, that's who I'm thinking about. So, yeah.
Yeah. Any other big name or superstar that the Celtics get, they're going to become the perennial superpower, the super team as they call it in the NBA.
Yes, and then did you know that they had Sacramento's #1 pick in next year's draft?
This makes no sense. That's what I don't understand. And Sacramento's is, you said next year's draft?
Next year, the 2019.
And is it protected? Not protected.
Protected.
Okay, so either it's going to come into, they're not going to get Sacramento, if they come in first, second, or third, or fourth, or whatever it is,
Right.
Sacramento will keep that pick. Because that happened this past year where Boston, who competed for a finals, got the number 3 pick. That's ridiculous. That's how they got Jason Tatum. How do you compete for a conference championship and then end up with the number 3 pick? Now, they need to change some rules with the draft system.
Well, for now, Kawhi Leonard may be very well going to the Celtics. If, I don't know. I think he should work it out in San Antonio because San Antonio always had a face, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and they always seem to have looked like they took care of their face. So I think if Kawhi Leonard can scale it back a little bit and not take so much of his uncle's advice and be, be his own man and actually, because he's living in a situation, he's actually playing, he's actually the person who San Antonio wants, not the uncle. And he should
I don't know
probably.
what you're talking about.
Well, his uncle is like, what's his name? Robert Griffin's dad. Like he's his advisor / manager, and he goes to his uncle for advice. And sometimes, those people, they can kind of guide you in the wrong direction, some way, shape, or form. But I don't know. That's his relationship with his uncle / manager. So I don't know. I think he needs to step back from the San Antonio Spurs and his uncle, and he needs to live within himself, and he needs to find out within himself the answer.
Well, based on what you just said, that means he needs to stay with the Spurs and keep everything intact.
Yes, I think he should.
And at the end of the day, just stay where you are, because I think Kawhi Leonard is the type of person, we're going to find out how good of a coach Popovich really was if he leaves the Spurs.
Well, we know that he is a good coach, but where's he going to go? OKC? If he can go to OKC if Paul George stays. If Paul George leaves, then that makes no sense. He's going to go to Boston. He's going to get overshadowed by everybody else in Boston. And then he's going to be bad. He can't go to the Lakers because LeBron is going there. We'll talk about that next and the reasons why. And he can't go to the Philadelphia 76ers because they already have their superstars. So,
especially if he wants to get $219 million, he's going to have to go to a number 7 or number 8 seed in the Eastern Western Conference.
Yeah.
Like the Wizards. But the Wizards are so dumb they can't even pay Kawhi Leonard, and he automatically become the best player on the team.
Well, they gonna go get Boogie Cousins.
The
right?
Wizards have to be the dumbest team in the league. They have 3 supermax contracts and didn't even make the playoffs.
They did make the playoffs.
Oh, number 8 seed, my bad. In the Eastern Conference, which is you might as well not make the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. They actually played hard and fought.
Whatever. Next up.
Paul George,
the X Factor, the number 1 free agent out there in the 2018 NBA free agent class, in my opinion.
The dominoes fall after Paul George.
Yeah, Paul George is going to
stay in Oklahoma City.
No, I can't see that.
He's going to stay out.
Can't see that at all. He had a very subpar Paul George year. Westbrook is a talented player but doesn't fit. He doesn't fit with Paul George because he's a ball dominator.
Russell Westbrook is a ball dominator. Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what
You just said he, so I
Westbrook is a ball dominator. Didn't find Paul George, and they just did not mesh.
Well,
Can I talk to that?
It was Carmelo's fault. No, Carmelo shouldn't even be there. His aura is bad. So.
Yeah, well, Carmelo is such he's such an isolation player and a ball hogger. It's hard to play with Carmelo, as we've seen it throughout his entire career. And plus, the dude is just not a winner. So when you have the character of not winning at the professional level, then yeah, everybody else around you will suffer.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
Paul George is going to
LA.
no.
No.
Now you know what? I think that's the strongest place right now. I could. That just makes sense. But what I would like to see is Paul George go to the Houston Rockets.
It would be nice.
Could you imagine Chris Paul when he re-signs with the Rockets and James Harden? Those two are a formidable deep duo already. With their ability to create space and get into the lanes and find Paul George on the wing, that team would be a super team. Still not the super team that Golden State is, but we will see a monster matchup if Paul George goes to Houston.
So if Paul George goes to Houston with James Harden and Chris Paul decides to stay,
Yep.
they can compete and possibly beat Golden State even with Chris Paul on the bench. Let's say that if they had Paul George in those games that Chris Paul set out, you think they would have beat Golden State with the team they have right now, adding Paul George?
No, they could have beat Golden State this year if Chris Paul played.
No.
Without Paul George.
No. I know. I said if Chris Paul was injured the way he was, but they had Paul George.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility. They needed another scorer.
Okay.
A bona fide person who can put the ball in the hoop. Trevor Ariza, even though Eric Gordon plays very, very well,
He did.
he is the Andre Iguodala type, though. He needs to come off the bench and light it up, either defensively or offensively. Mainly, Iguodala does that defensively and can score occasionally. Eric Gordon does that offensively and does it sparingly defensively. But Paul George on the Houston Rockets team this year would have beat Golden State.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Paul George. But what if Paul George goes back to Indiana?
No, that relationship is severed.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he can go back and play with Oladipo. I think so.
I guess he can, but why would he? They're not competing for anything. Oladipo is a good player. He's not a superstar. He's a good player.
Right, he's a
but
good player.
To have a team with just a good player and add a superstar, that's not enough. As we've seen over the past 8 years, that's not enough.
Well, I think honestly, even though I said he'll probably stay with Oklahoma City, I think that he'll call LeBron, and they're going to go to LA when LA clears out their whole entire roster.
Yeah, that's why I said business-wise, NBA-wise, I definitely see that. I think that's the most realistic, I should say. That's what I was looking for. But that's the most realistic place for Paul George, and that's the most realistic place for LeBron James. And I guess we can transition LeBron James because LeBron James can go to any 32 teams he wants. But LA just makes the most sense for him because it's LA.
Right.
You know, and if Paul George comes there to play with Lonzo Ball, get some big guys, and one thing about LeBron James that I don't doubt anymore is his ability to make any team that much better. After he took a Cleveland team to the finals when he was 25 years old, and you can't even name one person on that Cleveland team. The dude can.
I still can't name anybody on the Cleveland team. No,
he makes any team better. So if he brings Paul George and Lonzo Ball, and they play in LA, I can see them. They're not competing against the Houston or Golden State now.
Lonzo
But
Ball is going to the Clippers.
I can see them being 4th or 5th seed.
Okay. All right. I think Chris Paul, Paul George, and LeBron James will be in Lakers uniforms next year.
Chris Paul?
I think Chris Paul, Paul George, and LeBron James. Because, rumor
That's
has it that LeBron James has already committed to enrolling his children in school in LA. And Chris Paul has took his LA house off the market. So they're going, they might,
Take it?
I said took, you're right.
I'm just a grammar asshole. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I gotta apologize for that.
Chris Paul's house is no longer on the market in LA. LeBron's children are allegedly to have been enrolled in LA schools for next year, and Paul George is just waiting on the maid to clean his house before he returns to LA.
So I haven't heard that in all the stuff that I read. So you heard it here first from Sports Freak. Chris Paul, Paul George, and LeBron James in Los Angeles Lakers uniforms.
Yes,
get the heck out of here, people.
That's the only way LeBron is going to have to redeem himself from losing to Golden State twice. He's going to have to build his own super team, and that's his super team right there.
I'll tell you what, another super team, if they pull this off, because you mentioned the team earlier about going out to Kawhi Leonard, they made him an offer. That's the Celtics, but you know who their number one priority is now? Even though he's under contract, not a free agent.
Who?
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward. That's a super team.
Yeah.
That's a super team.
That's the new NBA, a super team right now. It has to be a super team in order to compete.
And you know what I'm thinking about next? That I'm naming all these. You've put Paul George and Chris Paul and LeBron in the Lakers uniform. Mm-hmm. That pretty much dismantles Houston, competes with Golden State, and you're looking at three top players with top contracts. Then I look at my Wizards, and I look at 200 million, 130 million, 100 million to going to John Wall, Bradley Beal, and Otto Porter. I'm saying seriously, the Wizards have to be the dumbest team in the league.
Hey.
And they have one of the highest payrolls. Good gracious. Anyway.
I have my own issues with the Dallas Mavericks. I could care less about the Wizards. But I will say that the Dallas Mavericks will be better than they were last year. Maybe 5 games better than they were last year. So
poor Mark Cuban.
Hey.
All right. Any other free agents worth talking about?
No.
Michael Beasley?
No.
No?
He can retire so he can go down to stadium.
All right. What's coming up in the second half?
What's coming up in the second half is whether or not a woman can have a prosperous relationship with a male roommate, be it her just friend, male roommate, an ex-boyfriend, an ex-husband,
Stop right there.
or her baby daddy. They live in the same house.
Are you really asking me that question?
I'm asking you that question. You and I could have been roommates.
Yeah, we could have. Okay, and then we'd have been just like we are now.
No, we wouldn't have because we had a friendship.
There's
and
two questions.
We stuck to our friendship.
No, but we wouldn't have though. That sounds great. But it wouldn't have gone down like that.
That's not true.
You're not walking around in the kitchen with your little booty shorts.
But I wouldn't.
Sure
I would have
do
on the booty shorts, but I would have on the long shirt with the booty shorts.
Yeah, this, again, sounds good. Could be possibly a great idea, but you'd have been laying up on the kitchen counter.
I would not have been on the kitchen counter because we had boundaries in our relationship at that time. And do you think if I would have known your dating history and saw your dating, you dating and running them in and out, we would have stayed friends.
First, that's not true. I did not operate like that. Second,
I said if.
I said second. There's no way you're living with me and we're roommates and that's it. It's not going down like that.
As friends, yes.
So your question to me is, can a man date a woman that has a male roommate?
Yes.
Okay. All I have is 2 questions.
Wait. Let me fix the question. Can a man be in a serious relationship or begin to put together a serious relationship with a woman? Not date, because you can date her, you can go out with her, but I'm talking about build a relationship.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. 2 questions. Is she ugly?
No, she's attractive.
Okay.
Let's say she's attractive.
I just want to get out of the way because you're not going to build a relationship with somebody you think is ugly, so I just want to get that question out of the way. The most important question, second part of the question, the number 2 question is the roommate gay?
No, the roommate isn't gay. The roommate has his own relationship outside of the house as well.
Okay. So to answer your question, can you start a real relationship with a woman, an attractive woman, that has a male heterosexual roommate? And the answer is simply no. That's simple. It's no.
I disagree.
Cannot.
I disagree.
Yeah, because you're a woman. You can have male friends, but let me tell you something about men. Given the opportunity, a man will fuck you. Period.
You
Point blank.
always told me that. Yes.
Given the opportunity, a man will fuck you. Now, you want to prove it? You want to prove that you can be friends or roommate with a man? Offer him some pussy, and then tell me if he turned it down sincerely. He's like, no, are you kidding me? We're friends. We've been friends for a long time. I'm not having sex with you.
You turned me down. You turned me down.
You're not making any sense because we're sitting right here together right now, and your hand is on my leg right now.
You're telling lies now. That's a lie. But you turned me down.
You cannot use us as an example in a roommate thing because you were not there.
No, we
So
weren't.
take us out of it. No, you can't. Don't use us as an example.
No, you said
I will
the man
destroy that argument
you said
from the beginning to the end.
The man will not sincerely turn you down if you offer him sex, and you turn me down.
Again, you're not making any bit of sense.
I'm
Because-
just going off of what you said.
Because now, if you really, I ask you not to use us as an example because
Okay.
I will destroy that argument from the beginning, from when we first met to what we became, to what we are now, to what we are going to be in the future. So, don't use us as an example.
Okay, well, I won't use us as an example. I can say that there are this lady I used to work with. We can use her as an example. She was married. She got a divorce. She didn't want to move. He said, I'm not moving. So they redesigned the house. He has his apartment in the basement, and she lives upstairs. And they still live together.
Right, and I can guarantee you none of those two people are in a serious relationship with anybody else.
She
is not.
She dates a guy.
Dates,
She dates
right,
a guy.
dates a guy,
And just
right.
only him. She dates him, and she considers that a serious relationship.
It's
And
not.
the ex-husband's girlfriend lives with him in that basement apartment.
Yeah, then the ex-wife has two roommates, her ex-husband and the new girlfriend. That's
Right.
not your question.
Right. Well, you said can the woman be in a serious relationship? She has a serious relationship with her guy.
She doesn't though.
She does.
She likes to think that and believe that, but her guy.
Her guy comes to her house and she goes to her guy's house.
Sure, absolutely, sure. But I promise you, when shit hit the fan, he has his other little girlfriends that he's
does
dating
not.
as well.
He does not.
Absolutely.
Do not
There's
put
no
this-
guy that is going to be in a serious relationship with a woman that lives with another man.
Do
Period.
not put
Period.
that. Do
You
not
have
put that
real-
evil on her relationship. She
But it
has
is.
been in a serious, committed relationship with that guy, and it's just the
But
two
you
of
didn't
them.
say that. You said date. She dated. You said that.
I
So I'm
did.
going with your
I said that,
scenario.
but then I also said after I said she dates him, that's her only relationship. That guy, and that's his only relationship.
That's not
with
true.
that woman.
That's not. But they're not in a serious relationship.
They are in a serious
I'm sure they
relationship.
see each other 3 times a week at most.
They are in a serious relationship. He comes to her house. She
See,
goes
now-
to his house.
Now we got to define what a serious relationship is.
I don't want to define. what
We have to. If you're saying I see you 3 times a week and I talk to you 6 days a week, is that a serious relationship? No. That's more like a casual dating relationship.
That's a casual dating relationship.
Yes.
No, it's not. A casual dating relationship to me is once a week.
Once a week or 3 times a week.
No, that's not
A
a casual
serious.
dating. That's spending
We're
too
not
much time
defining.
with you.
We're not defining casual relationship. Define a serious relationship. A serious relationship. I see you every day. Unless you're out of town on business or something, girl trip, whatever it is, I see you every day.
Okay.
That's a serious relationship.
Well, she sees him every day.
Now you're making stuff up.
I said
You're
he
just
goes to
making-
her house. He goes to her house.
Occasionally.
She comes to his house.
Occasionally.
Whatever the case may be, they're in a serious relationship.
You didn't say that at first. And I'm
I
telling you,
did
they're
say
not.
that at first.
They're
They
not.
are.
And
You
you
said
point
that.
her out to me, let me introduce her to me,
I
and
no
I will
longer-
break. I will have to throw cold water in her
I
face
no longer
and
work.
say,
I no longer work with her. Remember, I got fired from my good government job for being
right.
too
Here's the
skinny.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do you know her boyfriend at all?
I don't know her. Boyfriend.
Right. If that's my
Right. I just know her.
that will confirm my point. You and her think she has a serious relationship,
Well,
and
I'm
she
just
doesn't.
going off of what she told me.
That's what I'm saying. You and her think she has a serious relationship, and she doesn't. Because according to him, if I sat down with him and he looked himself in the mirror, he's going to say, I like her, she's cool, but she lives with her ex-husband.
The ex-husband lives in the basement downstairs.
It doesn't
in his
matter.
Apartment.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter to the man in the relationship. Your question was, can a man be in a serious relationship with a woman who has a roommate? You didn't ask, can a woman be in a relationship with a man who has a female? You didn't ask any of that.
Okay, so why can't he be in a serious relationship with her? If he likes her, if he feels some type of way about her, if he thinks she can be the one, why can't he be in a relationship?
Because he cannot risk the opportunity that this man, especially she had an ex-relationship with, extra-sexual relationship with, to have sex with him. How do you trust that? You can't trust that 100%.
The same way
You're not even putting a Craigslist ad person. Like, hey, I'm a woman, I have a house, I'm looking for a roommate, and a heterosexual man applies, and now you didn't even say anything like that. Like, they don't even have a sexual history. You're bringing up the ex-husband.
The ex-husband?
Ain't no way a man is going to be in a serious relationship with a woman who lives with her ex-husband. That's worse.
So, wait a minute. So, if she's in the house and he's in the house, the man is going to automatically assume at some point that they're going to be having sex with one another. Just at any time, just because
there's a high probability.
Right?
Yes.
So should a woman assume that when a man goes over to his ex-wife's house or baby mama's house or whatever the case it may be to quote unquote see the children, is the high probability that that man gonna sleep with her too?
No, you're bringing up two different scenarios.
I just want to know, because to me it sounds like you saying that a man and a woman can't be in the same. When a woman does not want him.
Oh my God, no. No, now you're changing the scenario.
I
can go over to my ex-wife's house to see the children and then come back home to my own home.
Right.
You're talking about a woman who lives with her ex-husband. There's no new man that's going to be in a relationship with that woman knowing that she lives with her ex-husband.
Well, she doesn't like the ex-husband.
So what?
She doesn't want
so
to.
What?
She doesn't want him to touch her.
Let me tell you something.
She doesn't want to sleep with him. Tell me, please, because I asked the question.
You're gonna wholeheartedly disagree with it, but this is true.
Okay.
No matter what happens in our relationship, you decide to leave me, or we break up for whatever reason, I will always have the opportunity to sleep. I will always have the opportunity to have sex with you.
Wait, you know how we ended this show with the joke? Is this the end of the show?
No, those are the whole hard facts.
Let me hear it again. Say it again. Okay.
I said no matter
what. Face, wait, say it, go.
No matter what happens between us, if we end up breaking up for whatever reason, I will always have the opportunity to have sex with you.
Okay, all right, okay. That's what you think?
Yes.
Sweetheart, when a woman is done, R. Kelly told you, when she's fed up, she's done. There is no opportunity to sleep with me. When I'm done with you, I'm done with you. And she's done with her ex-husband, she's done with him. For the sake of not wanting to move and uproot her kids, the best decision for them, split that house. And hey, if you want to go see your dad, run around back, go through his entrance, and you're at your dad's house.
Right, that's all well and good, but they would never have a serious relationship outside with anybody else.
Well, they both, according
that's
to
my
them,
whole point.
according to her, because I don't even know her ex-husband, but according to her, he has a serious relationship with his girlfriend who lives downstairs in the basement as well. And she has a serious relationship with her boyfriend.
But he doesn't. You keep on saying, like, I give it, if the ex-husband has a girlfriend and she lives there, okay, they're serious.
Okay.
The woman who is dating this new guy exclusively, she believes she has a serious relationship. What? I'm telling you she doesn't because of what the guy thinks. Like, if you told people, it's like, yeah, I'm in a serious monogamous committed relationship with Maury, and I don't say that. Are we in a serious committed monogamous relationship?
If you don't tell people that?
Right, but you tell people that.
It depends on what you're telling me. Yes. If I said it, then yes, I'm in a committed relationship, yes.
Right.
Because I've been led to believe that I'm in a committed relationship.
So back to them. Do you know has he told her that they're in an exclusive, serious, committed, monogamous relationship?
Based on what she said to me, and
No,
based on
that's
her
not.
actions.
Listen to my question. Because I'm going back to what you just said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I told you that, then yes. No matter what I'm telling to people, if I told you that and you believe that, then we are in a serious relationship. But what has he told her?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You know why? Because he hasn't told her, because he's not in a serious relationship with her. She believes she has a serious relationship with him, but they're not in a serious relationship.
Well,
and the thing is, to top it off, men will say stuff to keep on getting what they're getting.
true. As I know from experience, yes.
Well, time out. Time out. Pause the camera.
What?
I told you to stop using us
I'm
as an
not
example.
using us
So
as an example.
those little shots that you have to throw in there.
I am not using us as an example. I know from experience that men will say
Okay, so that
to get what they want.
I took it personally.
You took it personally.
All right, my bad.
Yes.
My bad. Oh, Ruka, I'm looking at the camera. You like my shirt?
No.
You don't like my shirt?
No, because I don't have
My
one.
shirt is
I'm hating.
tight. Like my shirt. What y'all think, YouTube? For Patreon?
They don't like it either because I
Stop
don't
hating.
have one. Because I'm hating.
Matter of fact, yours should be in the driveway today.
Okay, great. Then
Anyway.
It's a lovely shirt.
But anyway. Yeah, so,
Men will say anything to get what they want. Yes, I know.
but end of the day, a man cannot be, doesn't want to be in a serious relationship with a woman who has a roommate of any sort.
Well, he's your favorite word. He's insecure. He's insecure if he cannot be in a relationship with her, and he's insecure. And
Bruh.
she doesn't need him anyway.
Bruh.
She doesn't need him anyway.
Bruh.
He's insecure, and then he's gonna act all bitchy and catty and put a GPS on your cell phone and all that other bullshit. You don't need him anyway.
No, all he's going to do is continue to fuck you when it's convenient for him. The only time he's going to continue, whenever his dick is hard, he's going to find you. That's all that means. He's going to do his thing outside, he's going to live his life, but he's not putting any emotion into the relationship. No man is going to put forth any emotion to a relationship where the woman lives with a heterosexual man. No matter who it is, ex-husband or a Craigslist guy. I'm not putting any emotion into that.
Shame.
Anything else?
They're gonna miss out on love just because they insecure. Just shameful.
Not about insecurity,
Shameful,
it's just-
shameful.
Man,
They're
please.
insecure. That's a form
Man,
of
please,
insecure.
I know men.
Yeah.
And I know women.
Okay.
Just like I said, like if we break up, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. Well, I thought we were never breaking up.
No, I was making a point.
Yeah, you don't have one because we're not breaking up. Because if we do break up, there would be no more chances for you to
She's
have
so
sex.
controlling. She's so controlling.
How am I controlling? Because I'm saying that we won't have the opportunity to have sex afterwards. Yes. So,
Anyway, anything else?
yes. And now Maury Langshaw is going to give us our joke of today.
The joke of the day!
Yes.
Is Google male or female?
Female.
You're right, because it doesn't let you finish a sentence before you making a suggestion.
That lovely Google.
No, that wasn't a joke of the day. That wasn't a joke of the day.
What's the joke of the day?
Alright, here we go. No, this seriously. I did like that Google one.
Okay. Let's get your
A married man, since we're a sports and relationship show, a married man was having this affair with his secretary. And one day, when they were in office, things got a little hot and heavy, where they bolted out the office and went back to her house. They did everything under the sun, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, to the point they fell asleep and they didn't wake up till 8 p.m. So now he's like, oh shit, I gotta get home. He says, go outside and rub my shoes in the grass. Just rub my shoes in the grass. Just rub my shoes in the grass. Keep on rubbing my shoes in the grass. So his secretary's like, what the hell are you talking about? All right, whatever. So she goes out and just rubs her shoes in the grass, rubs her shoes in the grass. So then he goes home, walks in the door. His wife's like, where the hell you been? She says, darling, I'm telling you, I can't lie to you. I've been having an affair with my secretary. I fell asleep in our house, and we didn't wake up till 8 o'clock. The wife looks around, looks at his shoes, says, you're lying, you've been playing golf!
Oh, boy. And on that note, we are out of here.
Peace.